Hello everyone. Right, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is a new week, this is a new time, and this is a new uh, period of time to also get better and to make more profit in the market. Right, before we start, I will say don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Then also we have a Telegram channel where we post our setup markups and chart analysis. So you will do well also to join our Telegram channel. Then we have an Instagram page where you can also follow us. In the Instagram page, we post setup and flashcard also on the page. Then you can message me on Telegram if you have any question, and also on Instagram if you have any question, as the case may be. All right, in this very week, right, we'll be looking at our normal pairs to see the direction of the market and what the price really are for us in this coming week. All right, and as you can see, this is our dollar index for the week, right? Last week we said that this equal lows has been taken, right? And that is actually the case of what we have now. You can see where the market opened, right? The market actually went down, right? When it opened, then also it went up. Now, based on this fact, we can see that this equal lows has been taken, and because of this, we can see that the market actually did not close below this area but took out the liquidity. But the overall trend of this market as the current institutional order flow of this is actually bearish, right? It's bearish, and we have some zones where the market should reverse from, where the market will retrace back into before we can see it coming down, right? So that said, when this liquidity has been taken, we expect market to pull back, right, to a zone on the lower time frame or probably on another higher time frame before we can consider it as bearish again. Now, this has actually taken out liquidity, so we're expecting it to retrace either to this zone, to this fair value gap, or to this King OB or this block here. So these are the zone where we will be expecting this market to retrace to. Once again, either this fair value gap, either this King OB, or either this other block. These are the zones we're expecting this market to retrace to before we see it coming down. But on lower time frame, we also actually decide for us better. Now, on this note, right, we might actually see price coming to this area. You can see what really happened on this pair, right? This was last month low. The market came back to take out the last month low before going higher. So what we're expecting is that this market might actually still go higher to this zone, right, before we see it coming back down, or it might just get to this particular fair value gap in here, all right, and also drop back. Now let's go to 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that last week low was taken. Now you can see how this last week low was taken. That's actually a liquidity grab. So when this market opened, we see a manipulation to the upside, right, taking out liquidity here, all right. It took out liquidity there. Then what did we see? We see this market coming down to take out another liquidity, right? And that implies that, look at how this market is actually behaving. So we might actually see market coming back to this zone to retrace back, or coming back to this zone to retrace back, because the major trend of this pair, the institutional order flow, is still bearish, and market might not really get to this zone. But before we can actually say that we want to buy this pair, if at all we really want to buy it, we'll be looking towards this particular area being broken, right? When this area is broken, then we can actually establish a bullish trend on the 4-hour time frame, in which we can really follow that for a short-term trading, right? Going to the 1-hour time frame, right? Going to the 1-hour time frame, we can really see the retracement that is happening here. Now on the 1-hour time frame, now this particular zone might really be where price would be rejected from, this particular zone, and that happened on Friday. I actually marked this in our live chatting with my students, right? And we actually predicted that this actually is a zone that the market will get to. And as you can see, this was exactly the zone that this market pulled back to, and you can see just with that area, then we can see it coming back down. And one thing that we're expecting, just like what I said, if this zone fails to hold, right? If this zone fails to hold to push price down, and actually the price later come back to this area to break this area, then we might be looking to buy dollar index for a short time until we get another reversal to continue the bearish move that has been established on the higher time frame. Because really this particular pair can actually be the best zone to really buy this pair will really be this area, right, that my crosshair is, or this particular area, right? That's actually going to be the best zone to buy this pair. But we're expecting a retracement before we can actually see that. So on the 4 hour time frame, just like what I've said, this particular zone, right, will be where the price should reverse from on the 1 hour time frame, that particular zone. So that shows we're still bearish on dollar index. So this implies that we'll be buying Euro USD or any XXS USD pairs, and we'll be selling USDCHF or USD XXS pair, right? So that's actually what we'll be looking at. But when this zone is broken, then we are going to change the direction of the pair. So that said, let's see dollar Euro USD, right? Euro USD, we can see it on the daily time frame is actually bullish. Now on the weekly time frame, the same thing that really happened on dollar index, that's actually what we can see here. We can see it's taking out this liquidity, and on that note, right, on that note, we can as well find a reason to sell this pair, right, until we're actually going to buy it at this particular zone, which is actually the best zone, or this particular zone to buy this pair before we are going higher. But we should not actually be carried away with that retracement, and we must put in our mindset that our mind that the institutional order flow is king when we are trading, right? So that said, we will be looking for the best opportunity for us to buy this pair. Now, as you can see on the daily time frame, you took out this week, this last month high, and we might actually see a retracement from that before this market will go higher. Then on the 4 hour time frame, we can also see the same thing. Now, this is actually a good zone to buy this pair from. This particular note is a good zone to buy this pair from. That's actually where we marked in my class. Now, this is actually for a short time for us to see that pair happening in such a manner. But if this zone actually got broken, right, if this zone got broken, then what we might likely see, right, if that is not a manipulation anyway, what we might likely see is that when this zone is broken, we might see price moving back higher, then going lower. Now, the momentum that this market actually used to break this zone, and that is also used to retrace, will determine if we're going to go bearish on this pair or continue our bullish move on this pair, right? So that is what we'll be looking out for on this note. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, right, there's probability that price might still come back, right, to this note. So when the market open, right, that will actually give us an opportunity to buy this pair, probably based on manipulation. This is yesterday's low. Then what we might likely see is market coming back, right, to this, right, market coming back to this, right, market open, then take out yesterday's low, right, after taking out yesterday's low, then actually might see it going higher, right? But anyway, if this market breaks this area, then we want to see it retrace higher, then also go down. So that is actually what we'll be expecting on Euro USD. Then on GBP and USDCHF, on USDCHF, just like the same thing that we can see on the daily is bearish. Now weekly, the same thing that happened on dollar index, took out these equal lows, then we are expecting a retracement higher. So this implies that the weekly is still bearish. I mean, the daily is still bearish, right? And the 4 hour time frame is also bearish. Now, for the 4 hour time frame, we can see that it took out these equal highs that are here. The market came back, took out liquidity also here. So we can see a retracement higher before this price will continue to go lower. Now, looking at the 1 hour time frame, this is actually a good zone to sell this pair from, right? This is a good zone to sell this pair from, right? We might likely see a retracement from that. And when the market open, this is another opportunity for us to find an ELPC here, right? and that will mean the market to come all the way here to take this high, then come down, and we might actually see market going down all the same. But anyway, if this particular high is broken, right, if this particular high is broken, then we might just expect a retracement, right, then before this pair will continue to go up for a short time retracement. So that is what we'll be expecting on that pair. And on GBPUSD also on the weekly time frame, we can see that actually my group, I told them that if this particular zone did not hold price, this particular block here, right, this particular block here, if it does not hold price, then we might actually target this particular as a liquidity grab. Now, as you can see, is actually making something like an equal high up there. So this implies that if this market did not come to this zone on the weekly time frame or this zone, right, for a buying opportunity, then we might be looking, we will just expect it to retrace back to this area, then come back to take out these equal highs, right, before this market will go up there. Now we can also see the impulsive move that break this market structure. So we'll be expecting this market to come to this zone or this zone before we see it going higher. But anyway, let's look for a lower time frame to deal with. Now, on that note, we'll be expecting market to pull back to this zone before buying on the higher time frame. Now, let's see 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that this is actually a zone, right, to consider, right? That's actually a zone, and this is also a zone that we can also consider. Now, going to 1-hour time frame, we can as well use this particular area. Now, this shows that when this market open, right, when this market open, what I would like to see, right, when this market open, what I would like to see is this low being taken out, this low being taken out, or at most there should be a liquidity grab here, then an impulsive move that we suggest to us that market has already taken out liquidity, then we can actually look to buy it. Now, market come back, right, to take out this low and go higher, or market take out this low and go higher, because we can see that this market is actually still up. Now, that's actually based on 1 hour. That is what we can see. Then another thing that we might likely see on this pair, now going to the 4-hour time frame, just like what I've really marked there on that. Now on the 4-hour time frame, is market should take out this low, come back to this particular aspect here, then actually go higher. As you can see, there's no really an impulsive move in this area. So this is just accumulating, right? Accumulating around this area. So we can actually see 3 hits to the low, 1, 2, 3, right? Then a positive move, then before we can look to buy this pair. Now that's on GBPUSD, getting rejection here before we go higher. Now, the next pair we're going to look at is EURJPY. Now on EURJPY, we can see right from the weekly time frame also, this market is now bullish. But anyway, we have another block here that can really serve as a rejection, right? And that rejection should put this pair down, right? This is actually a breakout zone that this pair also can get rejected from, and we can see it is now bullish. So this is what we will be looking after now on this pair. Now we'll go to the daily time frame just to look for a good zone for us to sell it now, to buy it. Now this is actually a breaker. Now we can likewise make use of this OB as a reversal, as a zone that we can buy this pair from. Now that is on the daily time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, let's see. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see what is going on here. Now on the 4-hour time frame, this is a block to really look after. Now this market can come to take out this last week low, right? After taking out this last week low, pull back to this other block, then go higher. Then look at the condition of the market. Look at how the market is really retracing here. That shows there is no strong momentum to actually push this pair lower. So we might likely see this weekly low being taken out, market get rejection here and go higher. Now that is based on the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 1-hour time frame, what we might likely see is this zone, right, being respected. Now this zone being respected, actually that is not the best zone. Now seeing the 30 minutes time frame on that note, right, we might likely use this particular zone, right? So what again can we notice on this pair? Now, this is another liquidity pool for us, that when this market open, we might see accumulation, right? We might see accumulation in this area. The market will manipulate, right? Take out this liquidity and go higher. Now we see I have some dealings to do with here. So that's actually an area for us. Now, this is based on the 1 hour time frame, right? 1 hour time frame. And on the 4 hour time frame, I already showed you where this market might likely get rejected from. Take out this weekly low and go higher. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, take out this yesterday's low, get rejected here and actually go higher. So that is what we might likely see on that note. Now, on CADJPY, right? On CADJPY, we can see on the 4 hour, on the weekly time frame, this pair is bearish now, and we can see it accumulating around this area, right? So that shows the weekly time frame is really accumulating, and there is business to really deal with here, right? There is business to really deal with here before getting rejected at this OB, then come back down. So this implies that we might actually be looking for opportunity to buy this pair. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, we can see the accumulation in this particular area also. Now, noting that now this is a good zone for us to buy this pair, and that has actually been respected. That's been respected based on the daily time frame. Now, let's go to 4 hour time frame and see what this pair might really give to us. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, this particular low might actually get taken out. Then price might come to this note, right, to get rejected, this particular fair value gap. Price might really come there and actually go higher. So that's what I see. And this on one hour time frame, this might actually give us a particular zone. Now I'm giving you different zones based on time frame that this pair might really get rejected from, and the higher time frame are actually still the best zone for you to look after based on what I've really analyzed. And we can see on a possible here, we can see the squeeze manner that this pair is really coming down from. Now, going to 1 hour time frame, now on the 1 hour time frame, this is a liquidity graph. Now that shows market can actually take out this last week low, right, and come back to this area and get rejection and go higher. But that doesn't mean that this particular zone is also not a good zone for us, because when this market open, what can happen is that this Friday's low also can be taken. As you can see, is building up liquidity. This first low, second low, and the third low might be created for us here. Then this market will reject. But the best of the best is actually the market coming to this area. And just like what I said, if that's based on the 1 hour time frame, this particular note can also happen. Now, this is a liquidity graph here, and this market can take out this liquidity, come to this zone, and actually go higher. Now, the target will be this area. That's for the short-term target. Now, going to the daily time frame, this particular zone is something of interest to us now as our target. Then on the weekly time frame, this particular area is of interest to us, as you can see on that note. Now that's for CADJPY, right? What we're going to look at next is on gold, right? We can see how gold is really going higher. It has been going higher on the weekly time frame, daily time frame going higher. 4 hour time frame is also bullish. Now on the 4 hour time frame, what we might likely see is price coming to this fair value gap, right? Price coming to this fair value gap, right? Price coming to this fair value gap and actually go higher. That's actually based on the 4 hour time frame. Now on the 1 hour time frame, right, on the 1 hour time frame, knowing fully well that this pair is actually bearish, now this is a zone of interest for us, and this zone might likely be taken and price might come to this particular note. Now those are 1 hour zone, but on on 4 hour zone, this is actually a zone of interest for us. This particular zone here that I have marked is a zone of interest for us, as you can see for gold. Now, and for DE30, no, there's actually USD, yeah, that's NASDAQ. For NASDAQ, on the weekly time frame, we can see that this pair is also going higher. Now on the daily time frame, this is also going higher. Then on the 4-hour time frame, right, 4-hour time frame, we can also see that it's going higher. Now we expect it to go more higher now. So on 1-hour time frame, we can see that this has been taken out. So we are expecting market to come back to take out this low before it will continue to go higher. Now this is actually going to be a point of interest for us on this market. But if that is not the case, now market can actually get to this area, right? If we see the reaction of the market, that shows market is just going not as an impulsive move, but in a squeeze manner, can get to this area, get rejected, and actually go lower before we look to buy it, probably on this fair value gap or this particular order block when it is refined. Now that is for NASDAQ. Then lastly, we're going to look at USD30. Now for USD30 on the weekly time frame, we can see that this pair is also going higher. Now this particular note is actually a point of interest for us. Market taking out this high, right, is a point of interest for us. Now the daily time frame, you can see it going higher. 4-hour time frame, we just look for opportunity for us to sell this pair. Now see, have something of interest for us there. Now let's go to 1-hour time frame. Now on the 1-hour time frame, now we can look for an opportunity for us to buy this pair, and that opportunity is actually here. So this implies that when this market open, we might likely see this daily high, this yesterday's high, Friday's high will be taken out, right? But that is actually not a good stuff for me. But I will be expecting this market to really come to this zone, taking out this liquidity, then get rejected. Then I will be looking and targeting this high before I will know what next to really project on this. All right, guys, this is what I have for you and the analysis on this pair. I hope this really bless you and this really is of interest to you. So don't forget to join my Telegram channel. Don't forget also to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Then share with your friend, make comments. Then if you have any topic that you want me to cover, you can actually let me know, because that's already been long that I have had a free section with you guys. So you can just suggest to me which topics to go on over, then I'm actually going to do that. So don't forget, again, subscribe to this YouTube channel, join us on Telegram, right, and also follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much. I want you to have a very good trading week, and God bless you.